ramping up.
Now, while the U.S. gears up for a military campaign in Syria, newly declassified data has revealed that 25 years ago, Washington actually encouraged Iraq dictator Saddam Hussein to use chemical weapons in his war against Iran. To talk more on how America's shifting policies on chemical weapons, here's Ammar Waqqaf, a Syrian political analyst. Mr. Waqqaf, how has America changed its thinking on chemical weapons?
Well, America always looks for an opportunity to intervene and enlarge their sphere of influence, basically. I don't think they are really interested in who kills who or who bombs who or who uses chemical weapons against who. We know that they supported Saddam Hussein in the 80s in his war against Iran. We know that they benefited from mistakes that took place during that era to raise or rage public opinion against him when the invasion of Kuwait took place in 1990 and so on and so forth. So it's just about their interest and their hegemony in the region, nothing more.
Washington seems willing to push ahead without a UN mandate. Has the UN Security Council effectively been rendered powerless?
Well, I don't know how they are going to do it. I mean, it was just circulated here in London that the motion tomorrow in the Parliament is going to be about authorizing the government to take appropriate measures in response to the Syrian chemical attack. However, if you don't have this UN mandate, then it's not going to be legal. And you won't have UN mandate or Security Council mandate unless you specify who carried out the attacks. In late May of this year, about 3 months ago, the Turkish authorities seized 2 kilograms of sarin gas in southern Turkish city of Adana, with 12 people of Jabhat al-Nusra, that is Al-Qaeda affiliated group which is operating in Syria. If it turns out that it was those people who carried out the chemical attack last Wednesday, then the Americans and the British are going to intervene in the opposite direction, and this may lead to further chemical attacks.
Well, the Americans are saying that a rogue Syrian officer acted without authorization and ordered the chemical attack last week. Do you think that's possible?
I mean, I wouldn't rule out anything, but I need to stress that that the capability of using the chemical attacks at the levels that we've seen last Wednesday isn't really exclusive only to the Syrian government. Now, we've seen 100 people killed here and 50 people killed there and 150 people killed over there. And that doesn't mean a Scud missile, for example, of half a ton or a ton warhead was launched. It's more synonymous with a mortar bomb being launched. We've seen videos about experiments taking place. Even we've seen videos about, rebels using canisters of gas, and they were surely not using tear gas against advancing military forces. So the issue is that there is a shift that is deliberately being made between the certainty about the usage of chemical weapons into this is being turned into a certainty that it was the Syrian government who did this act. And this is not right. People need to be convinced. This is a democracy at the end of the day here in London and back there in Washington. And people need to be convinced that it was indeed the Syrian government, not the very capable opposition, who did it.
Ammar Waqqaf, Syrian political analyst, sharing his thoughts with us on this ongoing Syrian conflict and its latest revelations.